Hey, Daddy-O. Man, I'm glad you're here. Some business came up I gotta handle. So we're gonna have to put our trip on hold.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool.
Just for a couple of weeks.
I understand.
Yeah, maybe a little longer.
Yeah, whatever.
Look, I'll call you next week and we'll iron out the details, okay?
Yeah.
It was great seeing you, son.
You too, Lou.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You know what? Actually, this works out better for me. You know, the Slimmies of summer come to class wearing next to nothing, you know?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to iShot Logic. LeBron is at Philly. I'm skeptical. I don't see how it's going to work. I think you got too many players the same type with having him and Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey on the same squad. I just don't see how that's going to work, but it is what it is. But today, I got to address these LeBron fans again, man. I'm getting tired of this. So I got my vest on today because I'm getting ready to go to work on these LeBron fans. I'm sick of this stuff. They always bringing up this stuff that has no weight, and I hate to keep doing this, but somebody's got to be the grill. Somebody's got to get the story of the village right. Somebody's got to set the record straight. And whenever I hear him talking crazy like this guy's talking here in this video, I can't let him get away with that. I just can't. I just want to say thanks to everybody for all your support, all your follows, all your clicks, all your likes. Please do me a favor and hit the like button on this video. Again, thank you for your support. Let's get into it.
Fanboys!
Y'all are something special. Y'all really are. I mean, in the LeBron Bible, there's got to be a verse that, you know, somewhere, I don't know, in the book of Fanboy, verse 1, chapter 3. And in the end times, when all the bricks are broketh and the roaches crawleth about, the fanboy will be spared. Y'all will not die. And I've got a video that I'm going to focus on today. So we're going to talk about this and break this down. And it's titled, That's Why LeBron's Better Than Jordan.
Let me explain something to you. How often was Michael Jordan in a conference finals the underdog?
You know he was never an
Don't do that.
underdog?
Why? Because he had the best team in the league.
He had the best team because he was the greatest player.
Wait a minute. How come before Scottie Pippen got there, did he not win a goddamn thing if he's the greatest player in the game? He needed help, and when he got all the help, that's when he started winning.
He wants to talk about best team and team comparisons and talk about being favored. Okay, well, let's talk about that then. Because the odds ain't always what you think they are. And I'm going to explain it to you. Here we go. 91 Bulls. First in points per game, fourth in least points allowed, first in offensive rating, seventh in defensive rating, was projected to win 63 games and won 61. They were plus 700 to win the title. The 91 Pistons, who they played in the conference finals, 24th in points per game, first in least points allowed, offensive rating 12th, defensive rating 4th, projected to win 50 games and won 50. They were a plus 350 to win the title. So explain to me what being favored really matters when the team that was a plus 350 to win the title versus a plus 700 to the Bulls got swept by the Bulls 4-0. If being favored and odds mattered so much, what are the odds that the Bulls would have swept the Pistons? I know they were beat up and all that, I get it. But it wasn't like that the Pistons hadn't made moves in between that 4-year stretch there, because they acquired Mark Aguirre and James Edwards and traded some players and picked up some smaller pieces along the way. So even though they were beat up, they shouldn't have been swept. Now, 92 Bulls. Fifth in points, third in least points allowed, first in offensive rating, fourth in defensive rating, projected to win 66 games, won 67, a plus 250 to win the chip. The 92 Cavs, their Eastern Conference final opponent that year. Seventh in points, 10th in least points allowed, second in offensive rating, 11th in defensive rating, projected 55 wins, 157. They were a plus 4,000 to win, but yet it took 6 games for the Bulls to beat them. Should that series have went 6 games? I mean, based on the odds, a plus 4,000 versus a plus 250, a Cavs team that was 7th in points per game and 2nd in offensive rating, a team that won 57 games. Should the Bulls have beat them 4-2? I wonder. 93 Bulls, 15th in points per game, 2nd in least points allowed, 2nd in offensive rating, 7th in defensive rating, projected to win 58 games, won 57, were a plus 120 to win the championship. The 93 Knicks that they played in the conference finals, 24th in points, 1st in least points allowed, 22nd in offensive rating, 1st in defensive rating, projected to win 58 games, won 60, was a plus 500. So that's a plus 500 versus a plus 120, and it took 6 games to close that series, mainly because the Knicks were the best defensive team in the league. They were first in least points allowed, and they were also first in defensive rating. Or 96 Bulls. That's the 72-win team. Still, in my opinion, the greatest team that was ever assembled because they won the chip. First in points per game, third in least points allowed, first in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, projected to win 70 games, won 72 plus 350 to win the chip. The Orlando Magic were third in points, 14th in least points allowed, third in offensive rating, 12th in defensive rating, projected to win 56 games, 160 was a plus 400. So Orlando was a plus 400 versus a plus 350 Bulls to win the chip, and the Bulls swept them. Guess the odds really didn't matter for Orlando in that series, now did they? 97 Bulls, first in points, sixth in least points allowed, first in offensive rating, fourth in defensive rating, projected to win 68 games, 169, a plus 100 to win the chip. Against the Miami Heat, who were 22nd in points, third in least points allowed, 12th in offensive rating, first in defensive rating, projected to win 57 games, 161, and they were plus 1,500. And the Bulls won that series in 5 games, 4-1. So that would satisfy the odds. The last one, the 98 Bulls, points per game, 9th, least points allowed, 3rd, offensive rating, 9th, defensive rating, 3rd, projected to win 61 games, 162 was a plus 140 to win the chip. Their Eastern Conference Finals opponent, the Pacers, 12th in points per game, 5th in least points allowed, offensive rating 4th, 5th in defensive rating, projected to win 59 games, 158. They were a plus 2,500 to win. It took 7 games for the Bulls to close them out. A plus 2,500 versus a plus 140, and it went 7 games. So this is what I'm saying. You can't always go by the odds, because the eye test and us who saw those teams and watched them play knew what they had. Jordan wasn't favored because he had the best team around him. The Bulls were favored because of one guy, him.
Jordan drives again. Dunked right over Sigma. And there's a bounce pass to Jordan, and here he comes. Slam dunk. Jordan. Super play by Michael. He's got 6. Michael checks the finger. But he finally got his dump and was just going to be the trailer. He cleared out. Michael gave him a great pass. Layup, Scotty. Wingate hustles on back to try to defend it. Michael just up over the... He's on the floor for the Bulls, along with Michael Jordan. Inbounds the cart right to Jordan. Time winding down. Michael for 3. Yeah! 49.
Is there no one else?
He didn't do shit himself. Michael couldn't do anything without help. LeBron, without help, dragged the Cleveland Cavaliers, which was a shitty team, a last place team in the NBA, to the playoffs, and then the following year to the finals as an 18 and 19-year-old.
LeBron was 22 years old in the 2007 NBA Finals.
Just say you hate basketball. Everybody always talks about what Michael Jordan couldn't do before Scottie Pippen and Phil Jackson. But almost nobody talks about what Scottie Pippen and Phil Jackson did before Michael Jordan. Before they met, Michael Jordan already had won Rookie of the Year. He was an All-Rookie first-teamer. He was an All-NBA first-teamer 3 times. He led the league in scoring 3 times. He made the All-Defensive first team 2 times. He led the league in steals. He was the dunk champion twice. He was the All-Star Game MVP. And he was the league's most valuable player. Meanwhile, Scottie Pippen, he was good enough to be a lottery pick. He was a talented rookie averaging 21 minutes off the bench. And this was his first playoff game. This was just the beginning of him saving Michael Jordan's legacy. And it just kept getting better from there. These were the numbers from the entire series. Yeah. And Phil Jackson, well, he was a former player and a respected coach that was still climbing the ladder. And one of the coolest things ever that no one talks about is that Phil Jackson was a player coach. I thought Bill Russell was the only player coach in NBA history, but Phil Jackson was a player assistant coach for the New Jersey Nets. It's a very cool fun fact, and it probably would be common knowledge if the Nets were actually any good at the time. Then Phil went on to coach in the Continental Basketball Association, where he won a championship as a head coach. Then he returns to the NBA to be an assistant coach for Doug Collins, all before becoming the Bulls head coach in 1989. And of course, people conveniently ignore that Phil coached Mike and Scottie for 2 full seasons before the Bulls finally broke through. Jordan didn't instantly win with Phil and Scottie, and Scottie and Phil didn't instantly win with Michael Jordan. So when people reduce Jordan's career to 1-9 without Pippen, they're ignoring everything Jordan had already proven before they even played an NBA game together. Jordan did not become great because of Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen became great because of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan wasn't created by Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson inherited the best player in the league and then used Tex Winter's system to make the Chicago Bulls champions. And if you're going to give Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen credit, good, they deserve it. But if you're really that surprised at what they accomplished when they inherited the greatest player to ever live, either you don't think they're that good or just say you hate basketball.
Everybody wants to bring up 1-9 before Pippen, 1-9 before Pippen, as if Mike didn't acknowledge that he didn't do it by himself. But not only that, as if in contrast, LeBron enjoyed massive success. Because LeBron didn't even make the playoffs his first 2 years. He didn't hit the ground running coming into the league. He had 4 double-digit scores on his team his first 2 years, and he didn't make the playoffs. It wasn't until Larry Hughes got there that he made the playoffs and then made the finals. But he had 2 All-Stars within that run. He had Big Z, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and he had Mo Williams. LeBron got more help than he did. So what's your point? So when you look at the first 7 years of both guys, the first 7 years for LeBron, 2 missed playoff appearances, 2 All-Stars, a finals appearance, finals loss. For Jordan's first 7 years, playoffs every year, only 1 All-Star, a championship. So this 1-9 thing, Jordan's resume is better, even at 1-9 before Pippen. From 84 to 91, Jordan's resume is better. Aside from assists and rebounds, he led LeBron in every category. So what are you talking about?
Y'all act like LeBron climbed Mount Everest and pissed his name in the snow.
It's always the point of them to say that he drug a team to the finals. He didn't drag anything. He had plenty of help with Mike Brown as his coach. Once they started making the playoffs, they were averaging 60 wins a season. You don't average 60 wins a season with no help. I do remember that in the late minutes of close games, especially in the playoffs, they would give LeBron the ball and he would go 1-on-5 and he would fail every time. If it was a close game, if they were down 3, if they were down 5, what would they do? They'd give LeBron the ball up at the top of the key and let him go to work. And he would miss, and then miss again, and then miss again. And they would come out on the losing end. That was who he was. So this notion that LeBron had no help and LeBron drug everybody, stop it, dude. Ain't no sense in sitting up here and trying to rewrite history and act like LeBron's a different player than what we know he is and what we saw.
How many times in LeBron's 21 seasons has he led the league in something negative? Never.
And he says, when did LeBron lead the league in anything negative? So you can bring up the fact that he never averaged a negative number in regards to turnovers, but he's an all-time leader in turnovers. A lot of those bad turnover games that LeBron has had happened in critical moments in the playoffs, some even occurring in final series.
Michael Jordan and all his scoring titles, you know how many times he led the league in most missed shots and most taken shots? So of course I would think you would score more if you're taking the most shots of the whole league and missing the most shots of the whole league.
Who won more?
Michael and Kobe excelled at that, very much so.
Who won more?
10 years out of Michael's career, he only played for 15. 10 of them, he led the league in most missed shots.
Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
And for the ultimate statistical flex that no one talks about, LeBron is the only player in NBA history, listen to this, with 2,500 or more missed 2-pointers, 2,500 or more missed 3-pointers, and 2,500 or more missed free throws. The triple brick crown. Only one man in the history of the game has achieved that dubious milestone.
You want to talk about shot attempts? Okay, we can talk about shot attempts. Why don't we talk about the fact that in 2007, the year that LeBron supposedly drugged this team to the finals, that season, in the regular season, LeBron averaged 20.8 attempts a game, and the closest guy to him was Larry Hughes with 13.6. Now, in the playoffs, he averaged still 20 attempts. Larry Hughes averaged 11. Now, when it comes to the totals for that year in the regular season, LeBron shot 1,621 field goals. The closest one to him was Larry Hughes at 953. So he shot almost 680 more shots than Larry Hughes did. His total attempts in the playoffs that year were 399 field goal attempts to Big Z's 197. But for LeBron, that's just part of the game. Even though Big Z shot 49% from the field to his 41. For LeBron, that's just part of the game. Yeah, they rely on him to score. Like they didn't rely on Jordan to score. 2007 had more help getting to his first finals than Jordan did. He had an all-star in Big Z, Larry Hughes, and Drew Gooden as his other two sidekicks. And he's taking more shot attempts than everybody else, but for him, it's just part of the game. And while we're looking at this graphic right here, I'm willing to bet a bald spot on a baboon's ass that there's a LeBron fan out there that actually believes, aside from the best two players on each team, the combination of Horace Grant, John Paxson, and Bill Cartwright is a greater trio than the combination of Larry Hughes, Pavlovich, and Drew Gooden. If you even think that 3-on-3 matchup is even close, you crazy. Okay, so he's talking about leading the league in shot attempts and leading the league in missed shots, right? I don't think it's really something that you can harp on about somebody's made and missed shots, especially when you're on a team that for at least the first 3 years didn't have anybody that could make shots. If you're playing on a team that relies on you to do so because you are the scorer. But then he showed later on when he was put as a stint at point guard for 20 plus games, he damn near averaged a triple-double. But in terms of shot attempts, he wants to bring up Kobe. Okay, from when Kobe got in to 2010, when he won his last championship, he had attempted 20,417 shots. He was ranked 12th all time in 2010. Jordan, at the end of the 98 season after the second three-peat, Jordan had attempted 18,911 shots and was ranked 6th all time in field goal attempts. LeBron, by the time he won his last championship, 2020, guess how many field goal attempts he had? 24,536 field goal attempts for LeBron James up to 2020. And guess where he was ranked then? 6th in shot attempts all time. So LeBron, in comparison to Jordan, had the same ranking in shot attempts that Jordan had when he won his last championship. And before you go harping about, oh, you look at the longevity stats. No, because I'm talking about season 17 for LeBron when he won his last one, season 14 for Kobe when he won his last one, and season 13 for Jordan when he won his last one. So what the fuck is this jack-off talking about? When the guy who had to pass Kareem, he had to take more shots than anybody else. So how are you even going to talk about Kobe and Jordan's shot attempts and leading the league in shot attempts and shots missed when your guy leads the league in turnovers and shot attempts all time? How you going to point the finger at them about the amount of shots they took? Utterly ridiculous.
LeBron, without help, dragged the Cleveland Cavaliers, which was a shitty team, a last place team in the NBA, to the playoffs and then the following year to the finals. Michael could never do that. If you look at that lineup, those lineups, Michael Jordan couldn't do any of that. You want to know why? Because he's not nowhere near as versatile as LeBron.
Here's what Jordan did by age 22, the same age LeBron was when he made the finals in 2007.
I remember my uncles sitting around and watching the games in real time back when the Bulls were on their run. And we'd be sitting there watching the games and they'd be talking, man, how's he doing it with these white boys, man? These white boys, man. I don't know, man. He winning with these white boys. Because they knew, because looking at it real time, they knew that the athletes on the other teams, the black players especially, were better than the other players, the white players, and even the black players that were on the Bulls teams. They knew they were better. That's what people overlook because nobody remembers, because the LeBron fans weren't even born, especially those finals opponents. A lot of those finals opponents were deeper. Conference finals and finals opponents were deeper. And just so it's clear, just to give you all an understanding that you can relate to when it comes to what kind of teammates Mike had versus what kind of teammates LeBron had, Scottie Pippen is the equivalent of Paul George and De'Aaron Fox. I'm talking about today's Paul George, not yesterday's Paul George. Horace Grant was the equivalent to Bobby Portis with no three. Tony Kukoc was the equivalent to Amen Thompson with no athleticism. Robin averaged 5 points and 15 rebounds. He's basically Joker with none of Joker's offensive skills. But a hell of a defender. Defense matters, but so do points. B.J. Armstrong averaged 10 points a game. That's Tyus Jones. That's Andrew Nembhard. Steve Kerr averaged 8 points a game. Ron Harper averaged 8 points a game. That's Moses Moody, Buddy Hield, Jordan Hawkins. So you're telling me that I should be able to assume that if I take LeBron or KD or Luka or Steph and give them those same counterparts by position, that they gonna win back-to-back? Hell, even win one chip. And hell, the truth of the matter is, the caliber of players that I just mentioned there, the second-tier players, those guys have all had guys like that on their team before. Steph is the only one that's been able to make it work. Whenever LeBron has a cast like that, he don't get nowhere. And if he gets to the finals, he ain't winning it. And he's had more. So based on everything I just went over, how in the hell are you gonna tell me LeBron is better than Jordan? When LeBron ain't trying to build no team with Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, Tyus Jones, Andrew Nembhard, Amen Thompson, Bobby Portis, Paul George, De'Aaron Fox. What would it be like if he was at the mercy of the organization and had to accept players like that? Where would he be? But I know Jordan took the equivalent of those players in a tougher league with harder defense, where it was harder to score, and won championships with them. So how the fuck you gonna tell me that LeBron is better than Jordan? Man, get the fuck out of here with that stupid shit, dude. Talk all that stupid shit all you want, but there's always gonna be a nigga like me to come behind and embarrass you, bruh. You sound real stupid right now because you sitting up here regurgitating a bunch of shit that you done heard from somebody else, and you ain't took near a minute to look any of it up, fact check any of it, or see if there's any other conflicting information, because you don't care about that, because you know that half of the motherfuckers that you talking to ain't gonna do it either, because it's all about pushing a false fucking narrative about a guy who has cheated his way through his whole fucking career and wants the praise of somebody that went through the grind, got it out the mud. Miss me with that bullshit, man. Somebody has to be there to tell the fucking truth and not let you all get away with this bullshit.
There's a game of basketball, right? The better basketball player, basketball, is LeBron.
What the problem is too with you LeBron fans is y'all confuse more of with better than. Just because LeBron has more points, in your mind, that means that he was a better scorer than Michael Jordan was, which is false. He's only got one scoring title. He doesn't have the leading scoring average. He's accumulated the most, but that doesn't mean that he was better at it than anybody else. Let's take a work analogy, for example. You go to your job, you got two guys. You got a guy that's been here 20 years, and you got a guy that's been here 5 years. They run in the same machine, they run in the same parts. This guy that's been here 20 years has consistently ran 40 parts an hour. Now you got a guy here that's been the last 5 years that runs 55 parts an hour. Who do you think that supervisor is going to see more value in?
You need a center. LeBron can play center.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about? What the fuck was that?
Hey, real quick, y'all, special request. Man, can somebody send me that highlight reel? That time when LeBron was guarding Joel Embiid and pushed him off the... no, wait a minute. There ain't no highlight reel of that. Well, can somebody send me that highlight reel of where, when Rudy Gobert, when he blocked Rudy... Nah, they ain't no clip of him blocking Rudy Gobert. How about that one time when he was pushing Şengün off the... Nah, he didn't push Şengün off the block neither. Because he ain't never played fucking center. He might have checked in at that position, but he ain't never played no fucking center straight up. I've been watching this dude for 23 years. I can't think of one fucking highlight that I've seen him do any goddamn thing at center.
You need a point guard. LeBron can run the point. You need a power forward, a shooting guard. LeBron can do it all. Michael cannot.
When you're a kid, who did you look up to?
You know, I love Michael Jordan. It's like he was like Black Jesus to me.
So if he took time to do the work, he would know that what he's saying is a lie. Well, matter of fact, he knows he's lying. Russell Westbrook in his own era led the league in triple doubles, averaged a triple double for a whole season. He did it 4 times. And LeBron, the pass first ultimate playmaker, never did it once. Out of 23 seasons getting ready to be 24, he never averaged a triple double for a season. That's crazy. And then what's even more embarrassing, Steph wins unanimous MVP. You don't even garner one first place vote. Obviously, everybody else didn't think he was the GOAT. At least the people who voted. Is you sat there on your couch after 2016 talking about how that right there made you the greatest of all time. The only player in NBA history to win unanimous MVP won it in your fucking era. That shit is comedy. Straight comedy. The biggest argument of the LeBron fan is longevity. We all should agree that longevity should yield consistency. But the issue is his longevity has not yielded consistency. When it comes to the major box score averages, he's only had one scoring title. He's only had one assist title in 23 years. But yet y'all look at him because he's got the most accumulated points and he's an all-time leading scorer that he was the best scorer. You all think more of means better than.
All right. Okay. I think it's fine that you're a LeBron James fan. Like, that's okay. But I don't know. Doesn't this seem like it's going a bit far?
Look, Macy, I get it. To you, he's just another basketball player, and that's understandable. But it's just a lot more than that to me. I mean, he overcame a lot, growing up without a father, and I went through the same thing. It's just seeing him overcome that obstacle to do what he's done. It shows what it really takes to be a man in this world. That's all I could ever hope to be. Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just need some water.
And we always want to point to his background, the expectations he had coming out of Akron, Ohio. Like Akron, Ohio is nigga watch your back, Mississippi. Like LeBron is the only player in NBA history to reach superstar status that came from an impoverished background. He's not the only fucking one. They try to act like LeBron is the only one that's a rags to riches story for the NBA. There's plenty of players in history that have come from impoverished backgrounds and used basketball to enrich themselves. Guys that were making a fraction of what players make now and became rich and became successful and invested in business and done things beyond basketball. They sit up here and act like LeBron is the only guy that's ever done this. So the bottom line is we got 2 years left of this dude, man. And we're going to see how it works. I don't think that he makes him a championship contender. I think they were a championship contender when Jaylen Brown got there. What I really think is going to happen is, depending on how things are going by midseason, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he was trying to work something behind the scenes to get VJ Edgecombe traded for Anthony Davis, because everybody knows Anthony Davis don't like playing the 5. He likes playing the 4. Now you imagine AD at the 4, Embiid at the 5. Now both of them could maybe sometimes be out on the floor at the same time, sometimes not be on the floor at the same time. If I'm LeBron, I might be thinking in my head, hey, those two can relieve each other of minutes and they would be less injury prone. I don't really know if there's anything scientific to that or not, but hey, you never know. That would probably be a dream team for him. He'd probably nut in his pants, stacking the deck. Once again, I knew when Bob Myers got on that podcast, I knew that he was in play. I knew it because they wouldn't have put him on there if he wasn't in play. And I think the Philly's crazy for doing this. Now, let's get to Adam Silver. Adam Silver is the reason why this shit is fucked up now. And I'm going to tell you where I think it comes from. I think that Adam Silver adopted this whole player empowerment thing to set a legacy apart from David Stern. Things were kept status quo with David Stern. When David Stern passed and the torch got passed, I think some of the people in the association got in his ear and explained to him, hey, look, you need to set yourself apart from David Stern. You need to build your own legacy. And I think that this is Adam Silver's way of building his own legacy. And the reason why he's letting LeBron do whatever the fuck he wants to do, doing the contrary to what his predecessors did. Do you all remember this guy? Isaiah Austin, coming out of Baylor, was a first-round pick, lock, maybe even a lottery pick. He was the Wemby body type before Wemby. 7'1", could handle, shoot, had a post game. The boy had game, right? But if y'all remember, the combine gave him a mark because he had an irregular heartbeat on the treadmill, and come to find out he had a condition. It could cause complications with his heart because of the aorta. Adam Silver gives him a ceremonious draft in 2014. So Austin still wants to play ball, so he goes overseas, right? Plays for 4 or 5 years. He has a doctor that clears him to play in the NBA. He petitions the NBA to play. Adam Silver told him no. A decade later, he lets a kid who had a Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey moment on the fucking court not only get drafted, but get signed. That right there should show you what Adam Silver's all about. Adam Silver up here looking like a character from Hellraiser. So much pain, so many pleasures.
At the end of the day, nobody likes a cheater. And me personally, I'm not going to root for a team simply because of who they've got on it. Yeah, y'all can root for him all you want to. Y'all can give him a pass as much as you want to on his bullshit, but I'm not. Even though he might end up winning another championship within his last 2 years, he'll never be a winner to me because he's always taken the easy road out. He's always taken the easy path. But the funny part about it is, even though you all caked up with all this talent around you, you still, in effect, a loser. Even though you've won a few times, you're still a loser. And those finals appearances don't mean shit. Because you can't tell me that the chick that has came in third place at the fair for the pie baking contest is better than the lady who's came in first the last 2-3 years in a row. Jumping from team to team and taking advantage of the situation that he gets into and manufacturing a handicap for himself so that he can have a better chance at success. That is weak as fuck. That is not greatest of all time behavior. And y'all can sit there and try to will it and pray it into existence, however you want to do it. It's not going to matter. You can't cheat your way to the top and then sit there and talk about, I want my damn respect too. You can't do that. You would have had your respect if you'd have stayed in Cleveland the first damn time. You'd have a lot more respect if you would have done that. LeBron James Hall of Fame bus is going to have a toy maker sticker on the bottom of it. Mattel, Hasbro, somebody. It's a fake manufactured career. That's what he has made for himself. And you LeBron fans want to sit up here and act like that there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot wrong with that. The guy out here at the park that is one of the best players picks up all the other guys that are 6'3", 6'4", that played high school ball and leave all the scrubs to have to pick next between each other while they run all day long out there at the park, winning game after game after game after game. Nobody can beat them. Don't nobody want to play in that environment. People will literally take their ball and go home before they deal with that shit. Matter of fact, when I was coming up, we didn't let that shit happen. Nah, bro, you can't. Nah, nah, man. Nah, y'all can't be on the same team, dog. We got to break that shit up. That ain't happening. You gave it a level playing field. 4 championships, 23 seasons. Cheaters never win. And LeBron's career is proof of it. LeBron fans, y'all are something special, man. Y'all are some loyal motherfuckers. I mean, I ain't never seen nothing like it. Y'all don't want no outside dick at all. None. Y'all won't even entertain it. Y'all are content on being loyal. You're going to stick with that one dick for the rest of your life. You all are committed. I'm telling you, I got to give it to y'all.
I think it's appropriate that you neck dinner LeBron fans have an anthem. And it should go a little something like this.
One nation under our boot. Neck and tingles for the funk of it. Masturbation for him we will do. Nothing can stop us now.